Here we go. Hey everyone, this is Joakim Comic Center. A bit late this week, I know. It took me a while just to figure out what can I show you or talk about this week. Last week's video, I talked about some of my fellow comic book YouTubers that I follow. I was thinking about broadening that perspective a little bit more in this video and talk about some other YouTubers that I follow and how I am a very easy target when it comes to whatever they have the means to provide something from their own channel. So we all know that a lot of this collection that you see behind me here with all the collected comic book editions, I bought most of these because of YouTube. So I'm gonna show you what else I bought because of YouTube. This video is sponsored by Brevit. More of them later in the video. Okay, so we are gonna ease into this from something nerdy that we know comic books is to something else very much nerdy. That is the world of Gunpla. I don't even know if that's the way to pronounce it, but you know, Gundams, model kit making. And how I got introduced into that world is simply because of the cinematic footage and work from a channel called N.Maker. N.Maker has made tons of videos. Each and every one of them is so cinematic to immerse you into the experience of actually building your model kit. Adam, that runs the channel, has a great studio for it, great camera. His lens captures details so well, everything is so moody, and it's just in my taste. And you'll of course have to check one video out if you go and check out the links down below to each and every channel that I'll talk about in this video. But just, he creates an immersive feeling on how it feels to really assemble a Gunpla kit. He not only assembles it, but he also recolors it and paintbrushes it and all of that details that go into a model kit and how you can make it your own. And some few things that he has put out into the market is this magazine called Assemble. This is actually Assemble book number 2, so there is one book prior to this also available, I believe so, on the website, but I won't link that because there will be too much links down below. Of course, if you follow the trail, you'll find this book as well. It's just a gorgeous magazine, and if you just open up a random page here, you can see the model kit here. And the good thing about this one is that it's translated into English from Chinese. So you get both languages on this one. And I think that book number 1 only had Chinese. That is why I picked up this issue, so that I actually could learn something, because it does not only have this gorgeous gallery of Gunpla models or Gundams, but it also has a section where they teach you on how to rescale or remodel different kits and how to go about it with all the different tools, how to measure so you get the proportions right. Whenever you change the length of an arm, you'll probably have to change the length of legs as well so it doesn't look out of proportion. That's just really educational, and I know there's videos about this as well, but just to have it in paper magazine format, it's just a different feeling to it all, and you can take it in your own pace. Assemble a really, really gorgeous magazine that he's created here. So I didn't care what it costs. Trying to be a minimalist here, but there are some cracks in this armor, believe me, and that is when these things get through. The next channel I'm going to talk about is a Canadian channel originally, or there's still a Canadian channel. We just live in the US now. But this channel I'm talking about is Becki and Chris. I've followed these guys for over 5 years now, maybe even more. And during one time, they moved to the US, and then they decided to take a 2-week holiday trip back to their hometown and make a photo album of that trip. And 2 weeks to create a full photo album that looks really good. I've done that myself with a holiday trip, but it's not the same, not in this capacity and quality. And just not only pictures, but also documentations and just the layout of the book and everything. What I'm talking about is yet another book that I've picked up, and that is called From Pixels to Paper, Mozzie. I'm reading this on the backside now. Capturing the beauty of our Canadian home province, Newfoundland and Labrador. And this was created in 2022 was the pictures taken. Yeah, oh, I forgot about this. We have one of the pictures that was, of course, also featured within the book, and also the video vlog that you can find on their channel. Of course, you'll have to search for Mozzie or something like that to find the video, but I think you'll find your way there if you're interested. So this is actually a signed thank you note from Becki and Chris. And I actually forgot that it was there and that it was signed. So that is really awesome of them. And I'm really grateful for that because they are two very inspirational people. And yeah, they have had so many projects back and forth on their channel. And yeah, I enjoy each and every one. If you're interested in helicopters, they have that as well, and go helicopter camping. And you know, the pickup truck camping, they got all things going on if you're into camping, I'll tell you that. And who knows, maybe this next video will be filmed in the forest if they really get to me. But yeah, just a gorgeous, gorgeous photo book. Ooh, something more here. Lack it, bracket, and stack it. No bear. Something that Chris used to say, but or saying, but yeah, it's just a little clister, you know, sticky thingy. I don't know the English word for this. Klisterlapp, I would say in Swedish, but yeah. Mozzie by Becki and Chris. Let's go on. Okay, and the next channel I'm gonna talk about is The Local Project. And The Local Project, I go back and forth on their videos because depending on the building, the architecture that they are going through, it sort of piques my interest and sometimes not, depending on the architecture and the one that's talking about like the environment around it and the building itself. It can get a bit repetitive sometimes with we wanted to connect the indoors outdoors building and erase that line. There is just so many times that you can hear that line being said by an architect or interior designer. And yeah, but the channel features gorgeous architecture and interior designs overall. And if you put on mute, I mean enjoy. Something that I really liked that they came out with was a hardcover book edition that assembled several works and issues that they had published. So here is 10, The Local Project, and a celebration of 10 issues. Let's see here, can we get that? This collects several projects, of course, all spread out of the 10 first published issues, I presume. Yeah, we get a lot of different styles here. I mean, some are just crazy and some are a bit more homey, but we're talking in the millions of millions here in the investment. And sure, I'm never gonna live in something like this, but I sure can enjoy viewing it, taking inspiration from it into whatever project I might start myself in the future. So there's no harm in that. More pictures than text. There's text too. If we take this one, you can see. But it's a nice coffee table book. Most of these projects, I do believe, stems from Australia. You can tell by the nature of things surrounding it, and yeah, lots of stuff there. This is really it, scratching that architectural itch and interior design. So I'm really glad that they made this book available for those of you that don't want to subscribe to a monthly magazine necessarily. So yeah, Project 10. Probably the channel that has given me most inspiration when it comes to my own home. And just 2 weeks ago I showed you my apartment, and it's not necessarily a small apartment, but this channel features nothing but small apartments. That is a channel called Never Too Small, and I'm going to show you some of the things that I picked up from their channel. First one is their first assembled book, Never Too Small. Simple as that. And it features like small living spaces, could be apartments or tiny houses, and I mean most of them are between like 20 to 50 square meters, maybe some bigger, some smaller. And of course I don't know square feet of that. I'll make sure to post it in the video. And yeah, these are just, like I said, small spaces assembled into this book. So here you can see how one of the spaces works with the kitchen and bedroom and everything, switching up the space as they go. They have a detailed floor plan and of course immersive pictures of the people living in the spaces. Or maybe it's the interior designer or architect that poses in the pictures. But still, to show how they make a living in these small spaces, how they make them work, and how you can get so much more out of less. And that really brings it back to the minimalist stuff and everything that I'm trying to convey here with the comic book channel. They not only published this volume, they also have a volume 2, which is much brighter, much more colorful. The first one was more mute in the colors, at least in the design. Here you get this screaming pink right as you open the book, and I also like the color yellow you see there. I like that. And this one features even more apartments like that. This could be a whole video just me flipping through this book. Actually, I don't want it to end up like that. We have a little more homes here. The first ones, I think there's more featured work from Australia in the first volume, and as the channel grew larger and larger, we get a more wide world in volume 2, all the way from Australia to Europe to Asia and all the different countries there. And there's more, because this channel just keeps on giving. I mean, there's not a single week that they don't publish a video, so the material is there. And so much material, so that they even started publishing their own magazine. And right now, they're up to 7 volumes. And I'm almost caught up. And believe it or not, this is only a quarterly published magazine. And that is because of the many pages that you get in one issue. So it's the smallest, biggest magazine that I'll think I have ever seen, actually. And it's awesome. It has, oh, let's put that aside. It has designer, interior art, and lots more. Featuring, of course, some designer furniture, classics, more home living and sustainable living. I love this. This is such an brew your coffee, take some tea, sit on the porch, flip through. That's the mood I'm getting out of these. Each and every one of these issues is at least 200 pages of interior design and articles surrounding it. And yeah, these are the stuff that like gets through the cracks, as I told you in the minimalist armor. There's one more channel actually, going back to minimalism and everything, and that is Robert Creating. He is such an inspiration for me. He is also a photographer, videographer, lived abroad and everything. I think started out in the States. Each and every video that he posts is like a little mini documentary. Much like Matt Diavella actually, but I never bought anything from him. From Robert Creating, as a fellow photographer and videographer, he presented this backpack. The Brevet backpack. And that is one of the nicest things that I've actually bought for my money. It doesn't necessarily scream camera gear about it. So it does have camera gear. My microphone, my battery charger. Thank you, Peter Lindgren, fellow Swede, that developed this power battery station. My action camera, but I don't use enough. Get to me in the comments what I can use this for. I know I should figure that out myself, but if you would like to see something else, just a POV of me just walking in a shop or anything like that, I don't know. I'm not the one bringing the action most of the time, but I did use this on a BMX biker. And that was fun. And in this apartment over here, we have other good stuff. Hold it down like that. And here you can see I have my drone. I have 3 extra batteries for the drone, my controller for the drone, zoom lens, my 35 to 150 millimeter, and I also have my spare camera, my Sony A7 II, and of course I'm using my main camera right now, Sony A7 IV. It just all fits so snug into this backpack, all of these things, and I can easily fit another lens or 2 in this compartment over here. And it has just been with me for so long now. I don't even remember, 2-3 years? It's great, I tell you. Another thing that's great is that this video actually is sponsored by Brevet. So we do have an affiliate link down below if you yourself is interested in buying one of those backpacks for a discount price if you follow the link down below. That was the 5 main channels that I want to talk about in this video. Of course, I mentioned some more, but that's how it goes. So if you have any recommendations for me for this video with all the other things that I've talked about here, you know that it's more than just comic books. And I'm sure that you are interested in other channels as well. So please, link down below and I'll check it out. Until then, thank you so much for watching this video. We'll see you next week with another one. Until then, take care. And until then, I'm gonna go ahead and read some comics. See ya.